Shortly after young Harry Potter turned 11 years old, he went through a lot of major life events. He found out he's actually a wizard. He left his abusive aunt and uncle to live in a castle in Scotland. He murdered a teacher. He became a major sporting hero. Whoa, just a second. What was that last one right before the sporting hero one? He murdered a teacher. What? No, surely that can't be right. Wow, he did. Harry Potter literally murdered a teacher, and not in a he accidentally knocked him off his broom, whoops, my bad kind of way either. He did it on purpose. Okay, let's set the scene. Harry Potter is an orphan as the result of a big baddie called Voldemort, who himself disappeared when he killed Harry's parents and Harry somehow survived. Fast forward 11 years and Harry finds out that he's a wizard and is whisked off by the groundskeeper to wizard school where he learns magic and makes friends. Over the course of the year, Harry believes that Professor Snape, who goes around being evil for no reason, is trying to get his hands on the Philosopher's Stone, a magical object which can prolong one's life. And Harry believes that Snape wants to give the stone to Voldemort to bring him back from the dead. Using magic, I guess? I don't know. It's a magic stone. But shock horror, it wasn't Professor Snape. It had been the weedy, timid teacher Professor Quirrell this whole time. Let's take a look at Harry Potter's innocent victim, poor stuttering Professor Quirrell. We're not given much backstory in the movie, nor the book, but the official word from J.K. Rowling herself is that Quirrell went looking for Voldemort and actually found him, and when Voldemort realised he was a teacher at Hogwarts, Quirrell became completely subjugated by Voldemort, who caused a frightful mutation of Quirrell's body. And as a result of this, old Voldy here attached himself to the back of Quirrell's head, which he hid throughout the school year beneath a turban, raising further questions such as how the hell did Voldemort breathe under there, and why did nobody question why this teacher who previously didn't wear a turban is now wearing a turban? And don't give me some rubbish about the turban being a gift from an African prince because he got rid of a zombie or something. Oh, that's actually in the book? And they believed that? Oh no, it literally says how the characters didn't believe that. How did we not suspect it was him sooner? Oh wait, because of how thick it was laid on that Snape is the villain. I mean, seriously, the subtlety surrounding Snape is so non-existent that they may as well have hung a banner from the roof of the Great Hall telling us that Snape is a Death Eater, which we don't know about yet. Shh! So this is Harry Potter's victim, a man who has been possessed by the wizarding world's greatest threat, an innocent man who wanted nothing more than to be the one to take Voldemort down once and for all, yet due to his own naivety is actually used as a pawn in Voldemort's game. And let's not forget, Quirrell is a teacher who has spent the entire school year teaching Harry Potter Defense Against the Dark Arts, a class which is designed to teach students how to stop wizards like Voldemort. And not once did Quirrell use his position as a teacher to try and kill Harry Potter. Yes, there was the Quidditch match, the absolute worst venue to kill someone surrounded by hundreds of people. Why not at the end of a Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson say to Harry, hey, do you mind if I have a word for a second? And then when Harry's alone be all like, Avada Kedavra, and then boom, all sorted. No, he has to make a spectacle of it and do it in front of the one person who suspects him of doing the Dark Lord's bidding. But let's just think about that for a moment, shall we? As we will come to later find out, Professor Severus Snape, our glorious signposted red herring of the movie, is something of a double agent. He is, in effect, pretending to be a Death Eater while secretly being part of Dumbledore's army, or the Order of the Phoenix, or whatever the hell he calls himself. And I imagine that being a double agent, especially in the wizarding world, takes skill, cunning, intelligence, and not giving yourself away like Snape seemingly does throughout the entire movie. He corners Quirrell in the corridor, he recognises when Harry's scar hurts when Quirrell's back is turned, he even saves Harry when Quirrell attempts to kill him. And we even know that Quirrell knows it was Snape because he flat out says it.
Even with Snape muttering his little counter-curse.
So it's safe to say that Voldemort would have known this too. So why did Voldemort not question Snape's loyalty? I mean, he literally stopped a legitimate attempt to kill the boy who stood in Voldemort's way. That should have been a pretty major red flag for Voldemort. But no, it's simply forgotten about. But enough about Snape, it's Quirrell we're discussing, our victim. He wasn't evil before, but after being possessed and mutated by Voldemort, here he is, due to no fault of his own, about to meet his demise at the hands, literally, of an 11-year-old boy. J.K. Rowling has confirmed that this transformation didn't cause Quirrell to lose his soul, so somewhere in there is the man he used to be, but not for long. Wow, Harry Potter showed no mercy. He literally just killed the man who has been teaching him for an entire year with his bare hands. At this point, Harry doesn't understand why this is happening, and Quirrell seems quite confused as well, despite having refused a handshake earlier on. I mean, come on, where's the consistency there? But anyway, what we come to learn later is that it was love that killed Quirrell. That's right, the power of love topples all. Okay, it's weak. Apparently, because Harry's mum sacrificed herself, it was such a powerful act that Voldemort simply couldn't cope. Never mind poor Quirrell, who would have had parents who no doubt loved him, maybe a wife, kids, a dog. No, wait, wizards don't have normal pets, do they? A shoe with eyes or something? I don't know. Either way, why did love hurt Quirrell? Voldemort, yes, but Quirrell? So, forgetting that he'd refused to touch Harry earlier, Quirrell grabs Harry and begins to turn to ash. So, Harry does what every 11-year-old boy in this position would do, and he grabs his face. And he does this knowing full well it's about to turn his face to ash and therefore kill him. Harry was in no doubt that this would happen. He killed Professor Quirrell on purpose. And this is major. A first-year student killed a teacher. This is the sort of news that would rock any school to the core. Okay, you could argue that the book is true canon and the scene went a little different, with the reason for Quirrell's death being because Voldemort left his body. But this isn't the book. There is no doubt what killed Quirrell here. Or should that be who killed Quirrell? There's this thing called PTSD, you see. War veterans experience it. People who accidentally kill people in car crashes experience it. Basically, anybody who accidentally kills somebody will usually experience some form of PTSD, which can include symptoms such as nightmares, a period of insomnia, survivor euphoria and its flip side, self-doubt, depression, appetite disturbance, substance abuse, sexual dysfunction, social withdrawal, aggression. And this is in adults, so imagine what it would be like going through the mind of a child who, up until this year, has been tortured both mentally and physically and kept in a literal cupboard, and then has been thrust into this world which he simply doesn't understand. So, after killing a man, what does Harry do? Eats some sweets? Hangs with his friends? Cheers! Has a good time? Tells a hairy man this place feels like home. The place he murdered a man, a teacher, feels like home. A troubled upbringing, the ability to kill and feel no remorse or symptoms of PTSD. Is it me, or does Harry Potter have all the signs of a serial killer? Okay, maybe Harry doesn't feel any remorse for killing Quirrell, but it's pretty major news. After all, Dumbledore confirms that everybody knows what happened, which should be devastating for Harry. Everyone knows that he killed a teacher. That's mental. And yet, does anybody say anything? Nope. No passing comments, nothing from Malfoy, even Ron and Hermione, his best friends. And you can bet if my best friend at school killed a teacher, I would want to know everything. Hey Harry, I heard you killed Quirrell. Yeah, I guess. Was he in pain? The worst agony anyone has ever experienced. Wow. Every molecule in his body literally disintegrated. That must have been awful. It actually felt good. What? But the students of Hogwarts apparently aren't interested in the news that one of their fellow students murdered a long-standing teacher. Quirrell would even have been the favourite teacher of some of these students. After all, he showed them lizards during his lessons, but literally nobody says a word either immediately or throughout the following 6 years. And you could argue that people are just happy that Harry killed Voldemort. But remember, at this point, nobody knows that Voldemort's back. In fact, nobody's going to even believe that Voldemort's back for another 4 years. And you'd have thought that at least one person would have said something. Even Peeves the Poltergeist, like, hey, aren't you the kid that killed a teacher? But no, not a peep. Weird kids. But then again, this is a world full of fun and hijinks like flying on a broom, playing a massive chess set, finding dead unicorns. Oh. Okay. Or maybe I'm just overthinking this children's story about a magical school which has become so popular the author is now a billionaire. But then again, I'm a millennial with some affordable edit software, so I can complain about whatever the hell I want and people can choose to click and listen if they want to, and believe me, I have a lot more ridiculous things to talk about. So, thank you for tuning in. There's a subscribe button somewhere on the page you're watching this, as well as a like button, so please give them a hit. And also, please do consider supporting the show on Patreon if you can. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again for the next one.